Hey, it's one of these again. We haven't done one of these in a while, and this will be the last one for another while. Consider this like a mid-season break.
Summer.
It's summertime. We're doing other stuff, and we're actually gearing up for a move. So we'll be back at this once we get moved again. So I would say probably beginning of September. I know there's a big gap in there, but realistically, we'll get sorted out and set up. And
because we moved mid-month August. So.
And then we'll be cracking back at it again throughout the winter. We seem to do this mostly during the winter, and as soon as the nice weather hits in the spring and summer, we tend to stop. So there will be more of these.
Because life gets in the way.
Well, no, yeah, and now, like I said, we've talked about before, that we're into a position where there's going to be great fucking albums every show now. There's not going to be a whole bunch of that can at the beginning episodes were just trash, but no, like today's episode is a good example. So show us, or tell us, Vic.
Okay, so welcome to episode 28.
Ooh, 28. Well, we got to a certain point. We were going like gangbusters, and then we kind of stopped for a bit.
Oh no, I'm saying 28. I didn't think we'd last this long. But
yeah, here we are.
Okay, so today's albums are David Bowie, The Rise of Ziggy Stardust, and The Spiders from Mars. What a great album title. Led Zeppelin, Houses of the Holy. Woo. And The Who, Quadrophenia.
Hold on a second, I just want to make sure that I have... Okay.
The Who, Quadrophenia, and it's a double album.
It is. There we are. So there we go. Okay.
Is that the front?
This is the front, yes. That's why I think I had the Zeppelin one not correctly.
Yeah.
So there you go. Not that it really
matters.
matters.
Back in the day when album covers were really interesting.
And they actually did something?
Yeah, and they did some cool art and stuff.
Alright, so let's get rocking on Starman here.
Okay, so the first album, or David Bowie, The Rise of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. We've reviewed David Bowie before, I think a couple of times.
Yep.
So I'm not going to go too far into the rabbit hole as far as who he was, but he was one of the most influential musicians of the 20th century. Acclaimed by musicians and critics, his career was marked by reinvention and visual presentation. His lifetime record sales are estimated at 140 million albums worldwide, and he died in January of 2016.
Wow, 16? It's been 3 years already?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sad.
It is.
Sad. This album was released in June of 1972 with his backing band, The Spiders from Mars. It's described as a loose concept album based on David Bowie's alter ego, Ziggy Stardust, a fictional androgynous rock star who acts as a messenger for extraterrestrial beings.
Yeah, concept album. Definitely not truth-based at all.
In fact, he may have been one himself.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What a great cover. Hide in plain sight, right? Oh, here's this concept album I'm doing. Oh, it's just about this. It's just his story.
The character was retrained for Ziggy Stardust tour throughout the UK, Japan, and North America. The album and the characters were influenced by glam rock and explored themes of sexual exploration and social taboos. It peaked at number 5 on the UK record charts and 75 in the US on the Billboard charts.
It peaked at 75?
In the US.
Holy shit, this is one of the greatest albums ever.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Sorry to get into our wrecking our spoiler alert, but Jesus.
So we have 2 of them there.
Yeah, I'll explain it.
In 2017, it was selected for presentation in the National Recording Registry, being deemed culturally, historically, and artistically significant.
Oh, yeah. Holy shit.
By the Library of Congress. Never fails. My mouth still doesn't work when we do these.
It's been a while. You shake the dust off, just shake all the cobwebs out just in time to not do it again for
exactly.
a month and a half.
So it was produced by David Bowie and Ken Scott, and Ken Scott was a British record producer, and engineer known for his work with the Beatles, Elton John, Pink Floyd, Procol Harum, Duran Duran, and Jeff Beck. He also produced Supertramp, Devo, Kansas, and Level 42, a band that I absolutely loved in its day.
Level 42?
Yes.
You know what? I don't know. It doesn't seem familiar
Oh
to
yeah,
me.
I had an album that I
really?
played relentlessly.
Cool.
So that's a little bit about David Bowie and the album.
You have a track listing there.
I do.
You had to actually look through it. Just follow your sheet is laid out pretty well in terms of how we do things.
Yeah, but then there's, I think that I usually write down where you come in. So the track listing.
Yeah.
Side 1, 5 Years, Soul Love, Moon Age Daydream, Starman, and It Ain't Easy. Side 2 is Lady Stardust, Star, Hang On to Yourself, Ziggy Stardust, Suffragette City, Rock and Roll Suicide. Now, surprisingly, there was only 2 singles off this album.
Really? Because every song on there is fucking amazing.
I know. And the 2 songs that were hits, Starman and Rock and Roll Suicide.
Well, yeah. That's it?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. When you look at this list, I mean, 5 Years, Moon Age Daydream, It Ain't Easy.
Starman, It Ain't Easy, yeah.
Suffragette City.
Hanging On to Yourself.
Yeah, it's amazing in hindsight that this album didn't do better and that there wasn't more.
Mm-hmm. No, it's like you said, even the Library of Congress felt it was culturally significant.
Yeah.
And it's like, we listen to, and it's just every song is, that every single song on here, every single song is one that makes you want to crank it up.
Now, see, they didn't put it into the Library of Congress until 2017.
Yeah, so after a year after he died, but still,
yeah.
Regardless, it belongs there.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, one thing I want to mention too, before we go a bit further, was that we've listened to these albums a lot, obviously, but we also had listened to this. We didn't actually listen to the vinyls of these necessarily. We had popped around a little bit, but we listened to these mostly we listened through on the road. We were on a bit of a small road trip, and we listened to them there. And we listened
Spotify.
From Spotify, and then again when we got home, we listened to them on Spotify, and so they're going to sound great remastered and shit. So I'm not going to have a lot of information about. I know this one because I listened to this growing up, so I know what this one sounds like. But the other 2, I'm just going to assume sound old and beat out.
Yeah, because I'm sure that they were played a lot.
Oh yeah, like I said, just for me alone, I know that I've played these ones a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that out there. So is it me now?
Yes.
It is me now. Okay. So, like I said, Rise and Fall, David Bowie, RCA Victor, number or tag LSP4702, 1972. These are both Canadian copies, and there's 2 copies here. One was my mom's growing up. My mom's copy. I listened to this one, obviously, and actually considering this one, it's actually in pretty good condition.
Yeah, it's in a lot better shape for sure.
Relatively speaking. The vinyls are nice and thick. There's a little bit of scratching and stuff on that. Like I said, I know that if we played it, it would sound like vinyl, but it would sound like old, well-worn vinyl.
Yeah.
So yeah, original. Okay, sorry. So this one, which was my mom's copy growing up, this is an original run right here, and this version 2 is a reissue of an unknown date. And it took quite a bit of finding. Still couldn't find the date of it, but they have different label colors, and this one is super thin, where this one is not.
Yeah, Discogs is really great for all of that kind of information.
Yeah.
Again.
So the covers are beat up. Like I said, out of the 2, this one's the best, but it's still worn. It's got worn out edges and.
But yeah, not as bad as this one.
It would still be something I'd pick up probably at a garage sale for cheap. It's not that bad. It needs to be cleaned ultrasonically. This one's just trashed. Even the album's just destroyed. It's still playable, but why wouldn't you listen to it a million other places? Sleeve. They don't have sleeves. They're just, you can grind. Things grinding in and out when you put them in there. And like I said, as to the vinyl quality audio-wise, I can't really tell you because we didn't listen to them that way. So, however old vinyl sounds, that's how these sound. The photos, Brian Ward, Artwork is by Terry Pastor, who's working under the umbrella of Main Artery, which we have talked about before. And we'll talk about again, because all these guys do all the good shit. So, that's me. I didn't go into too much for these two. I'd rather just talk about them. So what do you got for... So that's me, like I said, because I did listen to the audio quality, I don't have nothing to add. I don't have anything to add, and these are beat the fuck up.
Just the album itself. Did we talk about it enough to do it justice?
No, not yet. Not yet. I have stuff, but I just want to make sure that you got... Why don't you do the sales history first before we get into the...
Okay, so the sale history, in its worst condition, $5. Mid condition, $51. And in mint condition...
5-1, yeah.
In mint condition, $76.
76, yeah. Fucking original pressing.
Yeah.
I still think we can... This is my mom's copy here. I bet we could get more than $5 for that. Depending if the vinyl was clean.
Yeah,
I
probably.
think we could probably get more than that, but...
Yeah.
I'm not surprised for those original runs. I understand why this is $50 and $76.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, because they're
and even if you
classic
have
albums.
incredibly classic, like yeah, and not only that, but like if it's cleaned up, they actually sound really good. Like if you have actual good vinyl on there, so yeah, the price doesn't surprise me at all. For me, yeah, like I see that we both have it obviously must own or whatever, but this is honestly probably my favorite album of all time, if not my top 3 albums of all time. I honestly can't think right now of an album I love more from start to finish that I can sing along to and fucking crank it up. This one.
Yeah, it's definitely from start to finish. It's a class act. It's good music. It's great lyrics.
When he's got a little bit of everything in there.
Yeah.
You know, like in an Easy, he's got a little bit of like a blues, almost kind of country feel to it. Like it shifts all over. You know. Bowie and his pianos in there, like it's just, like I said, start to finish, it's so well done and well produced that I honestly recommend it. And for some reason, if you haven't listened to this from start to finish, get the fuck on it. Like, what are you living for at this stage of the game? Even if you're not necessarily a Bowie fan, like, and it's just a testament to how old this album is and how relevant and awesome it is still now. It's one of those ones that, like, we'll be listening, another 60 years, we'll still be like, fuck, this album's so good.
Yeah, and it's definitely, there's definitely more on there than just the 2 songs.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing to me, yeah.
To the, Moon Age Daydream, It Ain't Easy, Suffragette City. So many, there's just so many everything. Hits on this album.
I know, it's great.
Hits in my heart.
Yes, for sure. And
not on the record charts.
Yeah, it's just amazing to me. Ziggy down.
Yeah, even on the Spotify's. Go listen to it.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter. Just
listen.
You need to listen to it, ingest that shit.
Yeah,
and enjoy it. So.
And learn to love it. So, album number 2, Led Zeppelin, Houses of the Holy. And again, another band that we've we've reviewed in previous episodes.
There you go. Okay.
English rock band formed in London in 1968. They were initially unpopular with critics, but achieved significant commercial success with 8 studio albums over 11 years. Houses of the Holy was their 5th album, released in 1973. Critical response was mixed, but it became a commercial success, selling over 10 million copies.
Yeah, because critics are fucking assholes. Sorry, continue. Wait a second, aren't we critics?
We are, but...
Not professionals and not assholes. Anyway, sorry, continue.
It's ranked at number 148 on the Rolling Stone 500 Greatest Albums of All Time list. The producer was Jimmy Page. Track listing.
There's nothing on here.
The song remains the same. The Rain Song. Over the Hills and Far Away. The Crunge. Side 2, Dancing Eyes. Dia Maker. No Quarter, and The Ocean. There were 2 singles that came off this album.
No Quarter.
Dia Maker.
Oh, really?
And Over the Hills and Far Away.
Oh man, neither of those would have been. I mean, okay, this is another one where the whole album's great, but I would have thought it'd been No Quarter and The Ocean as the hits.
No.
Wow, man.
And it's another one I think that just has been more appreciated over time.
Oh, for sure. It's another one. Like I know we're kind of getting into it, kind of bopping all over here. And that's going to be the issue with these great albums. Is that it's another one, start to finish. Turn it on, crank it up. Starts off fast, slows down. It's a classic prog album through and through. You know, you have these 7-8 minute long songs, and I fucking love Zeppelin. You guys know Zeppelin.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite bands, and it's one that I wish when I was younger that I had seen in concert.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure that I had plenty of opportunities to do that.
definitely. Oh yeah, it's amazing, and it always makes me laugh too that they got shit on critically.
Yeah.
And it's like the foundation of a good chunk of the metal, hard rock stuff that we listen to today. Like I said, it's amazing to me. You said 73, and then we're talking about albums that are still just as relevant, sound just as good.
Yeah, and granted, they did take a lot of other artists' songs and make them their own.
Yes, they stole from a lot of black artists.
But
Yes.
there's a new band on the scene today that's a ripoff of Led Zeppelin.
Oh yeah, well there's a few out there. I know there's a whole trend of that they sound just like generic classic rock bands.
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys definitely took a lot of the same as the Rolling Stones or even Elvis. They took a lot of black music and reappropriated it, made a lot of money and didn't pay the fucking artist. So that part sucks. But I think these guys were kind of forced to, just like Floyd or anybody else. I think they were forced to pay the estates, I guess.
Yeah, probably in the end, in today's litigious world.
They should. They should give these.
Yes,
guys
and I
artists,
totally
yeah.
agree that the people who wrote these songs and recorded them originally should be compensated.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely.
I totally agree with that.
And they should be recognized for their efforts and their hard work. So okay, over to me.
Yeah.
How's the Holy Zeppelin Atlantic Records tag SD 7255 Canada 73 original pressing again. Pretty amazing. Too bad it's in such bad condition. That's one I listened to a lot anyway as a
That's
kid.
what happens when you sit in a crawl space for 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Cover's in poor condition, obviously. It's just banged up and folded and the glue's all fucked up.
But it's a really good, it's a really cool concept.
It's not supposed to open like that.
No, I know.
Okay. Yeah, and actually the vinyl in this one is actually in really good condition. It's scratch-free. Doesn't even look dirty. Wasn't moldy at all.
Probably because it's the way that the case is folded.
Well, it's got a proper sleeve on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll sound like older vinyl, but it's still, once you get it cleaned up, it's actually going to sound pretty good. Sleeve is paper, yeah, so that's poor. The vinyl was in good condition. Photos. Here we go again. Aubrey Powell from Hypnosis. We all know about Hypnosis. They're going to be in here a million times over. We know about Aubrey Powell because we've talked about him before. It's a fucking classic cover. Again, it's just, actually it's probably one of my favorite too. Just, I love the fucking color scheme, and the kids are like, and it's almost like, I wouldn't say extraterrestrial, but this otherworldly setting. And that's the Giant's Causeway in Ireland. And it's actually a composition of 7 photos they took over a time span. And originally they didn't like the way it turned out, but this orange cool color that they got going, these weird colors, was actually a fuck up somewhere in the processing back in the day. And they couldn't get it, and then it happened, this fuck up happened, and then they saw it, and they're like, there it is. And they just left it. It was an accident. It wasn't actually at all the way it was supposed to be. So
A happy accident.
Happy accident, yeah. So it's pretty amazing. And I'm sure we'll get banned from YouTube because there's like some kid butts. So we'll probably get flagged or something.
Every time we work with these albums,
Oh yeah, these things are covered. That's what I can see shavings of it all over me already. And that's, in terms of that, I kept it short. Aubrey Powell, Hypnosis. We've heard, go back and watch the episode where I give you the rundown. They're in everything. They do everything. All the classic shit.
especially the British bands,
the British stuff. If it's British in the 60s and 70s and 80s, it's probably these guys.
And if it's a cool album cover.
Yeah, particularly if it's a cool album cover. What a great time to be working in that industry, like just doing all these amazing things. So yeah, obviously, once again, it's a must-own for me.
Yeah, same here.
It's another one of those, like, Zeppelin. Just own the fucking Zeppelin collection, because every one I'm going to say that. Like pretty much every one we own. So
I thought I had started a list somewhere of all the must-owns that we were.
this is a must-own collection. You guys got to go. Even on Spotify, go listen to it. Burn a J, whatever you need to do. Just get into the headspace. If you're on the road, if you're doing a bit of a drive, boom, these are fucking great albums for that. Crank it up and let the wind blow in your hair. What do we for pricings?
Sale history: $12 for low
Worst.
condition,
Wow.
$27 for mid, and $42 for mint.
Wow.
Or near mint.
Jeez. These are pricey, popular albums.
Yeah.
Especially for original runs. Okay. All right then. Sorry, just one thing I want to say at the end. I still can't believe that Deer Maker. How do you say that?
Deer Maker.
Deer Maker.
Yeah.
And what was the other one that was Over the Hills and Far Away? That still surprised me. Those are the two singles off the album.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I honestly, if I was going to go for one song first off this album, it would be No Quarter. So, anyways, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Zepp down.
Ooh, lots of stuff here.
Yeah, well, that's definitely a biggie.
Oh yeah, because The Who. The Who is not a band that we have reviewed
We haven't done
before.
it yet, no.
So this is The Who, Quadrophenia. It's a double album. The Who are an English rock band formed in London in 1964. They're considered one of the most influential rock bands of the 20th century. Excuse me. Allergies.
No, definitely.
Selling over 100 million records worldwide. The members of The Who are household names. Quadrophenia, a double album, was their sixth studio album, released in 1973. It's the group's second rock opera. It's set in London and Brighton in 1965. The story follows a young man named Jimmy. Oh, a young Maud.
Young Maud, yeah.
Named Jimmy.
Maud was this whole, I don't know if you could get into it a little bit.
Yeah, I
okay.
did. Yeah, I have it here.
Yeah, okay.
And his search for self-worth and importance. It's the only album entirely composed by Pete Townsend. So, a mod is a subculture that influenced fashion trends in fashion and trends in other countries. It's a follow-up to Tommy, and it achieved critical and commercial success. They took it on tour and had lots of problems, and
oh yeah, I couldn't imagine trying to replicate this live.
No, me neither. And there was a film version released in 1979,
which definitely has some different songs on it. They used some other artist songs, I believe.
Yeah, I think that I've seen Quadrophenia, but it's been so long that I don't remember. It was recorded at Rampart Studios by Ronnie Lane. He was their producer. He started out as their producer. But he was replaced eventually by a fellow named Ron Nevison, because Lane was so unreliable. He showed up late to recordings, and he just wasn't there. So
wasted money.
Yeah, so they hired this other Ron Nevison. Ron Nevison worked with Freddie Mercury, Hart, Eddie Money. I think I remember him being talked about in the Freddie Mercury movie. Or not the Freddie Mercury movie, but the Queen
Bohemian
movie.
Rhapsody.
Yeah. So the track listing is side 1, I Am the Sea, The Real Me, Quadrophenia, Cut My Hair, The Punk and the Godfather, and the US version was The Punk Meets the Godfather.
Yep.
Side 2, I'm One, The Dirty Jobs, Helpless Dancer, Is It in My Head, and includes the intro to The Kids Are Alright. Next song, I've Had Enough. Side 3, 515, Sea and Sand, Drowned, Bellboy. Side 4, Dr. Jimmy, The Rock, and Love Reign Over Me. There are a few... Okay, here they are, the singles. The singles from this album are The Real Me, 515, and Reign Over Me. Love, Reign Over Me.
Mm-hmm.
There's more. Cut My Hair is pretty popular. Yeah.
We talked about it. That's yeah. I'm with you. There's just more, but that's the singles there. That's the bulk of the singles off of here for sure. I guess it's on to me.
Sure.
Okay. Who? MCA. The tag or the number is MCA 2-10004. Canada 73. Again, original run, original pressing. The cover's in. I had originally medium, but no, it's stained and its corners are banged up. It's in poor, but not like that Bowie poor. It's not ripped or anything. It's just chewed up on the edges. There. And the book's actually, once again, other than some discoloring from being old and a little bit moldy on occasion, it's actually no rips. It's in great condition.
So it's all photos from the movie?
Photos from the... Yeah, well, not from the movie, no. This is not the soundtrack. No, this is just this is the book that they just had accompanying this, so you could look at it.
Gotcha.
While it was playing.
There's a lot of information on the inside of there, too.
Yeah, it's like...
The story of Jimmy the Mod?
Yeah, it's exactly it, yeah. So, they're like, I mean, this is your storybook right here, this whole thing, right?
He is Jimmy, too.
Yeah, so, So yeah, the vinyl, once again, I didn't listen to this at all, so we don't know. It looks like it's in pretty good condition, and from what I remember growing up as a kid and listening to this, it should be in pretty good condition. Once again, a little bit of a clean. There was just no mold on it from what it says moldy, but I don't really see any mold, so don't worry about it. Booklet's good. Photos by Graham Hughes, front cover and design. And the back, inside and back cover and booklet were done by Ethan A. Russell. So
it is a pretty cool album cover.
Front cover and then the overall design. Yeah, I liked it too.
It's too bad there's not a little bit of colorization in there.
I love that it's all black and white.
Do you?
Yeah, and there's the band photos. There's the whole band right there in his
in rearview mirrors, yeah.
No, I do like that. And I think they changed up a bit for the movie soundtrack that they did. I think there was some stuff colorized, but no, it was gritty, grainy black and white of just, like you said, this Jimmy the Mod.
Who liked naked women.
Naked ladies with the boobies. So yeah, there's that. How about, before we get into the rest of it, do you want to do pricing?
Yeah, sale history.
Yeah.
$6 for its worst condition, $20 for mid, and $55 for mint or near mint.
Yeah, once again, wow, another over 50.
They're classics, all three of them.
Should be able to get at least $20 for that, I think, for sure. Here's the thing. So, like I said before, at the top of the show, or closer to the top of the show, we listened to these on the road. It was perfect, and it was a great time to listen to. We just had time to listen, crank it up. I liked the first album. Overall, it got too long. And by the end, we were just like, oh my god, just fucking stop, please. So the first album's good, and at one point we even talked about how we were really enjoying ourselves, but like it just went on too long, and there's just too much, and it didn't, some of it's a bit too slow. It's storytelling, so it's not, we just wanted some. The thing is, though, I used to, like I said, I grew up with this one, and I used to just like it. I used to bop around for the singles, just like
your favorite songs.
Yeah. So, I mean, I did listen to it. So
I've never really been a Who fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I could take or leave their stuff. So for me, this album was meh. I don't care if I ever
You like the songs.
Again.
You like the songs,
Couple.
but singles probably. But yeah, I'm with you as a collective. I'd never listen to this whole album again.
No
chance.
No.
Like I said, just like my first thing was just that it was too long. And it's fine. Rock opera's fine. I dig it. I like Tommy probably more than this. It was a little shorter and better songs, but a little flashier. But yeah, I'm not going to shit on it because it was huge for them. And what was the one they did after this?
I don't know.
Okay. Great singles. Yeah. So, anyways, this as an album, I actually had it back in the crawl space. Just because, like you say, it's for a double album to have 3 songs. Why would you go searching for those 3 songs of a double album?
Yeah, when you could just listen to them on Spotify.
But if you're a fan, of, you like Quadrophenia or The Who, I mean, yeah, I'd recommend it for sure, but you probably have it.
Yeah, I'm meh on it, so
yeah,
it could go back in the crawl space. I wouldn't miss it.
Yeah, exactly, crawl space. It's just a bit too long. And I just want to, I don't know who it is, but at one point this album belonged to Jim Heaton. Heaton? Yeah, Heaton. So, way to go, Jimmy. We got your album.
I wonder how that ended up in your dad's collection.
Oh, probably staggered out of a party one time holding it and just kept it. So,
or maybe Jim Heaton owed him a debt.
Yeah. Yeah, take my Quadrophenia.
Here, take Quadrophenia.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
See you in the fall.
Follow, hit the bell if you want to know when we post new stuff.
We will be back.
Yes, we will.
It's more of a threat than anything.
And a promise.
Yeah. Okay.
See you later.